Shalom, shalom. I'd like to give all praise to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, the Dash. Peace to the hopeful elect of Israel. Shalom to the elders, the apostles, and the brothers of GMS who woke me up to this truth. Just want to bring a quick lesson today, Lord willing, to be edifying for someone who watches the video. I've been doing a lot of praying, studying, meditating, really watching and learning the elders, the apostles on YouTube over the last few weeks. I hadn't posted any lessons. I hadn't posted any lessons. I just took the time. The Lord just gave me the time to just study and just listen, man, and just learn. And sometimes it goes that way. There are various lessons that I wanted to bring out, and it seemed like the brothers were bringing them out. So it was a great opportunity for me to just lean back and just take it all in and study. But over the course of time, over the last few weeks, you know, I've been dealing with some things physically that I'm just now starting to get over, and then also on the other end of that, dealing with teaching family members who are still in the church, and it kind of wears on you, man. You know, you get frustrated with it because you try to help them see what the scripture is really talking about, and they just filled with so much of that vomit from the Christian church, they can't seem to let it go. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to call it, maybe, I think I got vomit of the church or something to that effect. And I'm just going to jump right into it. Lord willing, it won't be that long, but it will be edifying. So, dealing with the frustrations of family members and friends, but I'm going to just say particularly family members now. There's a few of them, and I'm going to take myself for example, because this is what I'm basing the lesson off of. There are a few of them in my family that know that I know the truth, and that I'm in the truth, and some of them are bearing false witness on me, okay, talking about I'm in Islam and all this other stuff, you know. So, you know, I have that to deal with, and just, you know, when you come into the truth, man, you got to expect that crap is going to come to you from all sides, you know, and it does. It usually does. So I've been dealing with that madness. So I'm going to go through this lesson and keep it in mind, you know, that those who are still, you got one foot still in the church, you got one foot that you're trying to come over into the truth, make your damn mind up, plain and simple, you know, or basically the Lord gonna make your mind up for you. I know for myself, I'm just tired of dealing with it, and I'm not gonna drag nobody into the truth. This is gonna be it for me. This past week is, I'm done with it, okay? And I'm just gonna bring out some scriptures and a couple of definitions. So let's look at, I want to use my big Bible. I use this big Bible, Salaki. I use this big Bible because the words are much bigger for me. Start getting old, man. Your eyes don't focus like they used to. I'm gonna start off with a couple of scriptures here. Okay, what I want to do first. I'm going to go to Proverbs 26, because in my opinion, these people are still fools, man. They fools for staying in it, okay? So I'm just going to read something here, okay? Proverbs 26, as snow in the summer and as rain in the harvest, so honor is not seemingly for a fool. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou shalt also be like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. He that sendeth the message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet, and drinketh damage. The legs of the lame are not equal, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. As he that abideth, verse 8, as he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that gathereth honor to a fool. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. The great God that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors. Verse 11, which is the point that I want to get to. As a dog returneth to its vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. Okay? Then I'm going to go over just a couple of chapters over. And we're going to go to Proverbs 23. And I'll read verses 1 through 9. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings, they fly away as an eagle towards heaven. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up, and lose thy sweet words. Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise wisdom of thy words. Okay? Now I read that to say that, we come into this thing. For me personally, I was in a search for the truth. I didn't want any more stories, any more fables, any more lies. I wanted to know the truth. Family members or friends that continue to go on into Christianity and stay in it, from where I'm standing now, I don't know why they're still doing it. Unless you're a fool. Now you sitting here, you listen to these fat, greasy preachers preaching to you something that they don't understand themselves, and you're taking all of this in. Okay? It's vomit. It's not the truth. And you're a fool for still sitting in there listening in these whorehouses. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to read if I could get to it. I'm going to read 2 Peter. Okay? This is 2 Peter chapter 2. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now is a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. For if the Most High spared not the angels, I'll start again, verse 4. For if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and I'm going to stop right here for a quick second, because this is one of the things that I have a family member who believes in angels being cast down with Satan and all that other crap, and I broke the scriptures down to him, of Genesis 6, and then you go into 1 John, I believe it is, chapter 1, 2, 3, all of that stuff in John pertaining to the sons of God, okay? But they can't get it, okay? And this is one of the people that's been going around bearing false witness on me, okay? So let me continue on. Verse 4 again. For if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelleth among them, and seeing and hearing vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, to be punished. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities, whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusations against them before the Lord. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to ride in the daytime. Spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you, having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls, and heart that they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children, which have forsaken the right way, and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Bozar, who loved the wages of unrighteousness, but was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass speaking with man's voice forbade the madness of the prophet. These are wells without water, clouds that are carried with the tempest, to whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever. For when they speak great swelling words of vanity, they allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness. Those that were clean escape from them who live in error. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. For of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. For if after they escape the pollution of the world through the knowledge of the Lord, our Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach, they are again entangled therein and overcome, and latter, and is worse than them than the beginning. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, than after that they knew it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the sow that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. Okay? So, you listen to these wicked ass preachers who don't know the truth. You're staying in these whorehouses. They're alluring you with all the fine words that you want to hear. Pay your 10% tithe. You're going to be rich. Any business that you start is just going to flourish. The Lord is going to bless you. We're building a new nursery. We're building a new church. We're going to pay off this building. We're going to do this. All you people believe this nonsense. Okay? And some, I believe, know the truth and still stay in it. Okay? They still stay in it. But many of them are still blinded. So that's where we're going to go to next. And mind you, some of the people that I know are very, what you would consider, the world would consider bright, have great careers, in the medical field, in law, and all kind of professional people. But something like this, they can't receive. So what does that mean? They're blinded. Okay? They're blinded. So let's now turn over to John, and we'll go to let's go over to John 12, and this is one of my favorite chapters because it gets right into who's going to receive it and who's going to stay in darkness, who's not going to get it. Okay, that the Lord was fulfilling that prophecy by size of them seeing and not being able to see, hear and not be able to hear, not being able to understand. Okay, and if you go down to verse 40, well, I started 39. Therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he hath blinded their eyes and hardened their hearts, that they should not see, and with their eyes nor understand, and their hearts, and be converted, and I should heal them. Okay, so these people are blinded. I believe that I'm doing the best that I can to bring the truth to them as friends and family members, but ultimately that's up to the Most High to remove it, remove the blindness from their eyes. Okay, let's jump over to 2 Corinthians, okay, chapter 3, and I'll just read the scripts that I have. Everybody, well, not everybody, but most of you all know the breakdowns of this, and you know where I am with this. Okay, so let's go to chapter 3, 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 14. But their minds were blinded, for until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the readings of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in Hamashiach. But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their hearts. And let's go over to the next chapter, chapter 4. And let's start at verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them that believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. For we preach not ourselves, but Hamashiach Yahushua the Lord, and ourselves your servants of Yahushua, or Salakia, for Yahushua's sake. Okay, and then let's go to Romans 11. Okay, Romans 11, and you all know where I'm going with that. Let's start at, let's just go to verse 7. Just get it out the way, get it to the point. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Okay, so see correctly, Salakia, see 2 Corinthians 3 and 14, John 12 and 40, and 2 Corinthians 4 and 4, okay, for the precepts on that. And I think that's pretty much all I'm going to bring today. I just wanted to get out here and make a quick one. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. What else was when we think about people who are being fools, because the definition of fool, according to the Strongs, is to be perverse, silly, one who despises wisdom. So when you look up perverse, it says hurl or throw headlong or rush. But if you go into a dictionary, I use just a basic, okay, college dictionary. And this dictionary is from 1976, I believe. And I'll go in and look at perverse. The meaning, the definition of perverse: turn away from what is right or good, corrupt, incorrect, improper, contrary to the evidence or the direction of the judge on a point of law, obstinate in opposing what is right, reasonable, or accepted. I'll try to hold this up to the camera so you can see it yourself. I don't know if you can see it. Okay? So the people who remain in the church, fake false Christian church, are perverse, falling headlong, okay? Do not want the wisdom of the men of the Lord. See, you know what happens, and this is just something that I thought about. The Most High is using the men, the teachers, the apostles, the elders, the brothers, the teachers. He's using the simple people, if you will, the common man. Okay, it's not about whether you're wearing a $5,000 suit and you got on $2,000 alligator shoes, whether you got a big time mega church and you walking in there with your skinny jeans on, like I saw somebody do, who was a leader, so-called, of a church, and they look just like the world. I had a friend who, you know, they all sit around, I guess you would say, on Sunday nights, and they watch that crap that be on BET, Sunday's Best, and all this singing and shouting and carrying on. You know, these people think that they praising the Most High. Man, them people wicked, and they just like the world, okay? But the Lord, my point was that the Most High is using the common, ordinary man, you know, guys who work 10, 11, 12 hours a day, if they fortunate, I guess you would say, to still be employed right now, or they self-employed, or whatever the case may be. He's not using these guys with 4 and 5 different doctoral degrees in this, in education and theology and history, and he's not using them people. Them people for the congregation of the dead. Okay? He didn't give them the Spirit. Okay? The Spirit is on the men that you see out here in your local city, in your local county, your town, wherever you are. Okay? Those are the men that the Lord are waking up and putting us out here, or doing the YouTube lessons. Okay? Them people that go to that church, or the so-called pastors, you don't see them out on the street corner in his $500 alligator shoes or lizard shoes, right? He's driving an Escalade. His wife is up there teaching with him, right? All that kind of stuff, that's foolishness. So that's the end of my little rant. I just wanted to get this lesson out because it's been poking at me, and I wasn't feeling well at all today. But the Spirit was resting on me, so I had to come out here and do it and put a little time in, okay? And I'm not dealing with any more family members anymore when it comes to the truth. You know, you're gonna have to get it on your own, okay? Or the Lord will send somebody else to help you, okay? But as far as me, I'm pushing on. I don't have no time to waste on you any longer, okay? So with that, I'm gonna end my little lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying. Hopefully, if you're somebody who never watched the lesson before, you got the precepts down, go ahead and study, okay? And get yourself together, okay? Time is running out. This is the end of this world, okay? Esau is the white man, or Esau is the devil. Most of us, we call him the white man, but that's Esau Edom, okay? The RFID chip is the mark of the beast, and in fact, really, and that's another lesson, but I was telling someone before, I said, back in the 80s, when I was in them churches, there was one church where there was a pastor that did teach that. He did teach that that's what was coming down the line, was that they was going to start implanting people with chips so that they could monitor you wherever you go or whatever you do. Now, he did bring that out back in the 80s, probably around when if I could remember right, that was probably like in 86 when I was going to this one particular church, okay? But there were some that did believe it. But now today, they don't talk about none of that stuff. They try to teach these folks today that everything is going to be all right. You're going to get everything you want, okay, in this life, okay. They're not preaching the truth at all. So with that, I'm gonna stop right there, okay. Let me give all praise to the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem, Yahweh Shai B'Shem, Kadesh. Peace to the hopeful elect of Israel. Peace to the Akim, the Akwath, and the confusing face all around the earth, okay? Lord willing, I'll come back with another lesson real soon. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom.